Attorney Mike Sawaya is well known in the Denver community, not only as an experienced trial lawyer, but also as a civil leader and a philanthropist. And today we add author to that list. So welcome to the show, Mr. Mike Sawaya,
the
Colorado and Company.
We're pleasure to be here.
So happy to have you here.
You've
got this beautiful new book out, The Power of Principled Inclusion.
Right.
What do you want folks to know about you? Because we're getting to see a different side.
Well, I want people to know that I really care about people, to making people better. The idea in my practice for all the years I've done it has been that, and it's been what's kept me going all the years and still be happy being a lawyer, because I want people to be better. I want them to find themselves so that they can be better.
Well, it really comes across in the book. I've been taking it home and I really dove into it, and I related to a lot of it because it is about connecting with others and getting closer. So tell us why you wrote The Power of Principled Inclusion.
Well, I was struck by a couple of crises that are happening, especially with the young and people, say, in the Midwest who have not gotten the jobs, lost their jobs and such. These crises are crises of automation and artificial intelligence. And it's making people think, well, I'm not important anymore. Or they made their importance their job, and all of a sudden their job is gone. Their employer turns out to be wicked and mean, and all of a sudden that's gone. And I thought, well, how do we address that in a meaningful way? How can I make people find themselves to be better? And it took me on a 2.5-year journey to go through a lot of the readings I've had in the past of the brain and how people think and how people get motivated and what people might want out of life. And that's led me to this book.
Well, good job on pulling it all together in such an inclusive way. How do you think people will feel once they're done reading?
Well, it's my hope that people take it and spend some time with it, because it has workbook pages. Every chapter has a way that calls people to find something within themselves. And that's where the answer will come. The answer is not going to come likely from somebody else's narrative. Maybe pieces, maybe this and that, but it's your narrative. Your narrative will connect with you. And once you connect with yourself, feeling included within yourself, then the world opens for you to be inclusive with the world.
Absolutely. I really picked up on that. And the workbook sheets are really important in here. You do give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to really connect with the topics that you just read about.
Exactly.
So tell us about the process of making that shift from lawyer over to author.
Well, it's not my first book. My first book was a book on spirituality that took 4 years to write. And it's not actually been a shift, because I actually try to do my writing at the office. And, you know, I have a half an hour. I used to. I'm getting so busy now, I don't have a lot of time for it. But it means shifting your mind from one place to the next, which is what you have to do anyway for personal growth. So I haven't changed from being a lawyer, at least not yet, but I do feel that this has sharpened some of my skills of being able to tell people how they can be what they need to be.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And one of the things that really comes up in this book, thinking about you as a lawyer and an author, a lot of times as an attorney, you're seeing people at their lowest in a moment of crisis. So how do you maintain that mantra of inclusion even in those difficult times?
I would go on a limb and say you cannot do it properly without inclusion. If you're a person that doesn't feel comfortable with yourself, then you certainly can't be helping people with their problems. In fact, you might just muck it up.
Absolutely. I'm going to pop into the book here because I've marked a couple areas that really stood out to me. And one of the notes was that you really suggest in your workbook in chapter 17 that you write a letter to yourself describing what good you could bring to others around you. Why do you include topics like writing a letter to yourself? Why does something like that work?
Well, it's meant to be the kind of prompt that will make you start thinking about yourself. It's a hard thing for some people to do. One of the biggest questions to ask people is, well, what do you want in life? And they'll say, gee, I don't think I know what I want. Well, if you don't know what you want, you're never going to get it. You're going to get what somebody else gives you. So you have to stop and think, well, what do I want? And a letter to yourself, maybe you'll feel, Jiminy, Christmas, I forgot who I am, you know? I've never really looked to see who I am. I've never looked to see, gee, I want to do more of this. I want people to know more of this. I want to find more of this within myself. Look and you seek and you shall find. It's an old principle.
Another principle in here that really stood out to me was personal responsibility. You write that truly every leader must be a leader of themselves first before becoming a leader of others.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of personal responsibility.
Every profound leader in the world has had that. Now, we've had some leaders that have not been fully as powerful or as integral as they should have been or could be. But to the extent that they do these principles, then they become powerful. They're the Franklin Roosevelts, the Abraham Lincolns, the Mahatma Gandhis, all those people, Amelia Earhart.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep, and you yourself. So I congratulate you on your second book.
Thank
and
you.
thank you so much for explaining. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of this.
It's gone by fast.
Yes. Well, learn how to be your best, most effective person in the world. Pick up your copy of attorney Mike Sawaya's new book, The Power of Principled Inclusion, right now on Amazon.com.